Nope, your eyes do not deceive you. I did give away $50,000. Who am I? Mr. Beast? Originally, I was going to do $100, but that's obviously a little too much for a server that only has 100 members. Server links down below, by the way. But, you know, I decided to go with $50 instead. It's not too bad, I suppose. So basically what happened is that all of the players who signed up for the event, they had to do a 1v1 with me, and that way when we do the elimination GP, because you know we're gonna have a lot of players, more than 12 players, and that way I can determine each player's skill level and you know, to balance things up with each room. And the reason why I do the elimination GP is that I want to be fair. I want to let as many people as possible to have a chance to win the $50,000. I said it again. The whole point is more than 12 players have a chance to win the $50 reward. There, I finally said it correctly. Oh yeah, with that out of the way, I can finally show you this segment of the 1v1 that I had with these certain players. So I'll be showing the top 5 most difficult players I played with at the trial, starting off with Gale Laser. And of course I will not be showing all of the players POV just because well, just to save some time. Oh yeah, also one more thing I forgot to mention is that I will be including a guinea pig jump scare. And now why is that? Well, it's just to make the video more interesting, you know? And so yeah, just be careful out there because they are pretty spooky when it comes to stuff like that. You have been warned. Ooh. Anyways, let's get started with Gale Laser. He is the top 5th best player in the tournament, I suppose. I'd say Callum is too, except we didn't really have a good trial because we were missing around half of the time. So, but yeah, I consider Gale Laser as the good player in the tournament. There was more, of course, but he made it to the top 5. That's what I'm trying to say. So what do I think about Gale Laser? I'd say he's a good player. He was pretty good at dodging my items. And I don't know what else to say. I did 60 him in this GP, and the reason for that is because things went in my favor more than his, so I guess there's that. I did ask him if he wanted to play more than one GP, although he refused, or I think I had to go somewhere, I don't know. I mean, it's pretty difficult to give a evaluation to Gale Laser because we only play one GP, and the fact that things went in my favor, it's definitely a lot harder to judge. But overall, he did pretty good. He gave a good fight in this GP. And yeah, he's definitely better than most of the players in this tournament. So yeah, there's that. But the next top 4 are like in a whole different level. That's for sure. And yeah, we will just move on to the next player. Up next we have the Cat Jam himself, which is Joey Jazz. And he is definitely a lot more faster than Gale Laser. No offense. But yeah, he definitely put up a good fight with me. And for every GP, we played about 4 GPs, and my only complaint is that his controller kept on disconnecting. It was definitely getting in the way of the trials, but yeah, eventually he got that fixed on, I guess, the 4th GP. So by that time I was already kind of rusty. Anyways, but yeah. The only problem is that he's not necessarily great with dodging my items. In fact, I even bullied him many times in N64 Bowser's Castle, so there's that. However, even though he was not great with dodging my items, he was still good with using his items strategically. Like, he would use his mushrooms and his shell and his bananas. That's what she said. He would use them at the right moment. I don't know how else to describe it. But yeah, I mean, overall he was able to catch up to me whenever things went against his will. And what the fuck am I saying? What I'm trying to say is that even when the odds were against him, he still managed to catch up. And I mean, that takes skills to do that. And he did it. He did that fine. So I don't know what else to say apart from the fact that he did put up a good fight. That's for sure. And yeah, I just wish that the controller disconnection didn't get in the way, because otherwise that would have been a lot more better. But yeah, that's I don't know, I guess that's it. Now this is where things get a lot more intense here from here on out. No more laying low because the next 3 players, they are in a whole different league. So we'll be starting off with Kane the Snowman, and he's a Carter, but he's not someone that you should underestimate because unlike your ordinary Carter that you would see in your casual worldwide session, this guy is one hell of a beast on cards. Like literally. He in fact let's just say he 60 me in this GP because I underestimated him. I did see him playing cards before, but I forgot how good he was on cards, and that was one huge mistake I did in this trial. I tried to, be a little, I tried to give him a chance to win, but turns out I don't really need to do that because he has enough skill to win on cards. So that proves that if you're good enough on cards, you can pretty much beat anyone on bikes, really. And I don't really have much to say about Kane other than he's literally a beast on cards. And this guy just literally toyed with me the whole time. Like, he was casually front running most of the races, and I was just sweating my balls off and just trying my best to catch up. If you think Kane is a scary Carter, you should see the next 2 players. Well, except they're not Carters, of course, they're bikers, but still. And this, my friends, is no longer a stroll in the park like the last 2 players. Not saying that the last 2 players were easy, I still had to try hard, but these 3 players, man, my role has been reversed. I'm not the one trialing them, they're the one trialing me because I'm the one getting played around. So yeah, that's a little scary just to think about. Damn. Alright, so up next we have LBRZ, and oh my goodness, this me is cursed. But yeah, anyways, you may have noticed that the video quality is a lot more higher, and that's because we're playing on Dolphin. And again, it doesn't really matter what we play on just because we're only playing the trial, so there's that. And like the usual top 3 players, he has great optimal lines, he has great item usage. I guess one thing I do admire about him is that even though he hasn't played the game for months, he's still good at the game overall, even though, normally you would be really rusty if you don't really play the game, but he's still good. That's something not everyone has. If someone doesn't play the game for weeks, they become really rusty. That's kind of like me right now. Also, that was my guinea pig in the background. I don't know if you guys heard that, but yeah, they're crying right now for food. Anyways, and since he's good at the game, he 60 me in a few GPs, and let's just say I got blue in this one clip, and that's why I got 60. That's my excuse of why I got 60, but yeah. Jokes aside though, he did actually 60 me in a few GPs without getting lucky. Also, I'll take that back about me getting blue was unlucky. But guess what? He already had a blue in first place, so that didn't really matter. So I guess you can say that was like a mockery of him bluing me so that I can get blued, even though he wasn't first fucking place. And yeah, that's all I have to say about him. Well, I mean, I can't really say much about him because, he's pretty much the same like other good players. Like, come on, man, this is an anime where every character has weird designs and they have their own unique abilities. Well, maybe the weird designs does apply to these players, but yeah, still. And lastly, we're saving the best of the best for last, which is Crisis. And unlike LB and Kane, he is on a whole different level. And I know I've been saying this term a lot, but trust me when I say this one, because if anything, he might be even better than LB and Kane combined together. And he is also the only player in this whole trial to have like a breakaway like nearly every single race that I play with him. And I guess that's something unique about him, is that he's able to break away like really quickly, like really quickly. Even if I'm playing safely, even if I'm taking my lines decent, he still manages to like break away no matter what I do. And I guess that's something special about it. Oh my goodness. Oh, sorry, my bad. I had something in my nose. But yeah, that is all I have to say about Crisis. He is fast as hell, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna win this one, for sure. But I feel like if we all ganged up on him, he could probably lose, and one of us can take the reward. But that would be, messed up, so we're not gonna do that. Or maybe we will, who knows, we will see. You're just gonna have to wait and see until you watch the next part of the video, so amen. So with the trial out of the way, you're probably thinking how many players signed up for the event. I mean, surely there had to be at least 20 or 30, right? Or at least that's what I said. But guess what? Only 13 signed up for the event. Yes, I know, that was pretty disappointing, I am not gonna lie. But hey, you know what? 13 is more than 12, so therefore a elimination GP is needed. So I guess this whole trial setup that I made wasn't necessarily wasted, just because now I could just balance out the rooms and separate the good players and the bad players, right? Right? Well, even though we had 13 signed up for the event, only 10 of them showed up. So yeah, the elimination GP wasn't needed. This means that this whole trial setup that I made was for nothing. Yes, I spent 15 hours playing with my participants, only to find out that this whole trial setup was pretty pointless at the end of the day. Dear Lord, why did you set me up for failure? But your boy xmeep826 here thought an idea. Instead of scrapping this whole trial segment from this video, I thought, you know what? The viewers out there, you know, you guys out there, can at least predict who will take this W and take the $50 reward, and the $20 reward, and the $8.26. So yeah, just make sure to watch the next part of the video, because I promise you guys it will be a lot more interesting, I think. And yeah, thank you guys for watching this part of the video, and I will see you guys on the part 2. That's if you guys make it that far, but yeah, please do. I spent too much time editing this video, please. Amen. Thank you. Bye.